Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another video. As you can see by the title, today I'm going to be showing you guys the process of a crown prep. Right now I am just showing you guys what's on my tray and the type of temporary material that we use. So now that my tray is all set up, I'm going to grab my temporary triple tray. This is our alginate that we use to get the mold of the tooth so that we can use it later to make our temporary. So now doctor is all done drilling and prepping for the crown. So now it's my turn to go ahead and take the scan, and we use the OmniCam. This is a digital scanner. It just takes the place of a regular impression, like a putty impression. So yeah, now I'm not actually scanning or doing anything. I'm just showing you guys the process of another assistant doing it. So yeah, she's scanning, and some tips for you guys if you've never scanned or if you're learning. Just make sure that the tooth stays dry. The scanner does not pick up anything that's wet, meaning saliva or blood. So yeah, just make sure the tooth is dry. Make sure that you are retracting. Make sure that the tongue is out of the way, the cheek is out of the way. So yeah. And when you're scanning, if you're new to scanning, you don't have to scan the whole jaw unless you need to. But like if it's just a tooth on the right side, you just need to scan the right side of the jaw. So yeah. So now that she's done scanning, she's gonna take a look and make sure that she got everything that she needs. And I think she did miss a spot. So that little white spot that is next to the prep, she has to go back and scan that. That's kind of the most important part besides the prep, is the tooth next to it, because you don't want the contacts to be off. So you want to make sure that the tooth next to it is perfect and the prep is also perfect. So now we have moved on to the opposing arch, and you have to do the opposing just so that the lab can calculate how the bite is. So if you ever have a patient ask you, I always have patients ask, why are you scanning the top? I thought we did the bottom. But yeah, the lab has to have it in order to have the bite be correct. And like I said before, you don't need the full arch. Same for the opposing. You just need the side that you're working on. So our next step is the buccal scan. And with this one, you have the patient biting down on their back teeth, on their normal bite. And that's super important that they're biting normally, because that can mess up how the lab makes the crown, because you don't want the crown to be too big. And this shows exactly how the patient bites. So sometimes people have an open bite. This would show if the patient had an open bite, or if the patient had an underbite. This would show the lab exactly how the patient bites down, if that makes sense. So now this is going to load into the next portal, and this will show us exactly how everything looks. Make sure that there's nothing in the way of the prep. And then this isn't also where you would draw your margins and things like that. My lab doesn't request that we draw the margins, so I usually don't. So right now I'm just going to go ahead and send it off to the lab. We use Glidewell. I think I've said that before. Let me know in the comments down below what lab you guys use. So yeah, I'm gonna select the gender and I'm gonna choose my date, and it's always on the lab because that's the lab that we use the most. And then I'm going to type in my instructions, and then I'm going to go ahead and send it off. So the next step is to go ahead and make the temporary. So she's going to go ahead and fill it with the impression that we did earlier, and she's just filling it with our temporary material. And so we got our temporary. So now she just has to shave off the ragged edges and make it all smooth and even. And it does take time to make a perfect temporary with experience, so don't beat yourself up thinking that you're supposed to know how to make a temporary the first day on the job. Yeah, it takes time. I feel like I just started making, well, not just started, but I feel like it did take me a while to know how to make a perfect temporary, and now all my temporaries are perfect, I feel like. So yeah. So after she trims it all up, we're going to check the bite. And then once we check the bite, she's drying it off. And now we're ready to place our temporary cement. And this is called Next Temp. It's super, super strong. Never have a problem with my temporaries coming off. But yeah, that's the end of this video. If you guys have any questions, be sure to leave them down below. I'll see you guys in my next video.